Today we are cross-training piano and guitar. Stick around.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
And my name is Cooper Greenberg. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, like our videos, turn your notifications on, and if you're interested, you can support us on Teespring with some really cool custom designed t-shirts. Now, you may recognize me from the guitar channel. Today we're doing a little crossover episode. I'm over here because Patrick is out of town, but I dressed up like him. I got the watch, I got the plaid, so I'm basically Patrick Marr right now. But Ted has kind of been a teacher to all of us around the store, Patrick and myself included. He is a great piano player, great guitar player, so today he's gonna kind of school us a little bit on how to cross-train and how to pick up some piano as a guitarist, you know.
The idea is that traditional piano lessons, you usually start off with a scale and playing one or two notes each hand, and then eventually put them together. But that is kind of slow and boring in progress, so a lot of times you just ask people, hey, can you play piano like a guitar player? And can you actually teach piano like they teach guitar, which is 3 notes at a time per hand? And then you can work on your rhythm like you're tapping on a table. So the idea is if you first get together with musicians, either someone you know or if you played with, you've done this before, right? Tons of times. Started like most of them now are pre-teenagers, man. They got instruments and they jam. How can you figure out how much you know on your keyboard and the guys you're with on their instruments? So today what we came up with was we're just gonna play on white keys on the piano. So it's a white key kind of jam, which means you get the 3-note chord and just play the scale all the way up, and then it repeats.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're gonna jam on. That's one of the things we thought of, is just put together where I'm gonna mostly play, because a lot of times people say, what are you playing, what are you doing? I'm just gonna try to play rhythm guitar on the piano. But the idea of learning piano like guitar is you're actually kind of playing drums on the piano like a tabletop.
Yeah.
And you have to change your hand position to hit the different chords.
Yeah.
As the guitar player and everyone else changes chords. So it's just a basic, simple jam.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk about chords or anything, but we're just doing a 1-4-5, and then we do a minor jam.
Yeah.
Where we play in minor chords.
Yeah.
And not even mixing them up. We're just keeping all minor and then all major.
I find for me as a guitar player, I took music theory in high school and college and I had to learn basic piano, but I'm so behind, you know, versus looking at a fretboard, looking at a keyboard, they're completely different. But kind of the shapes you're talking about on white keys, you know, key of C, C, F, G, it's so different than moving. It's kind of like bar chords to a certain extent, you know, but I think it'd be helpful, you know, we're playing this kind of blues in C major jam. You know, it's just like a basic place for people to kind of jump off of with the jam and all that.
And it's not real hard to play chords on piano. And it's kind of like I've known little students that I've had over the years, and they're learning the 1- and 2-note songs, and then you take a minute or two and say, hey, can you do this?
Yeah.
And then do it again and again and again, like row your boat. And that's more fun than trying to follow all the instructions. And that's really what inhibits a lot of people from learning piano, is that the instructions get in the way. I don't want instructions, I just play the instrument.
Yeah.
And that's why learn it like the way you learn guitar. Well, people don't spend tons and tons and hours in front of a teacher reading classical literature on guitar. They pick it up, they start strumming, you're working the percussion, and then you start learning the chords.
Yeah.
And that's all we're trying to do today, is just put some chord things together. Of course, guitar players can play lead and do all that.
Yeah.
The nice thing about playing on piano, on all the white keys when you're first starting off, is that if you do get a chance to solo every black key is a slide on or slide off key for you, so you can get a little bit of bluesy sounds, and you can stay on the black keys, but the idea is that the song is structured in all white keys, so that you can just, you know, color code it and know how it's going.
Yeah, totally. So let's check it out. A little C major bluesy jam.
Hey, Cooper, I hope my rhythm was good there. I felt like I was going to lose it. We should have set up a little drum or a metronome or something. I didn't think about it until I got going.
No, it's great. It's great.
So, no, I enjoyed your solos. And let me ask you about how many sevenths did you hit?
A good bit.
Okay.
You know? Yeah.
Here's the idea. While we were playing, I thought 1, 4, 5. Well, in all white keys, that means you start on a C chord, and then you go to an F. That's the 4, and then the 5 is the G. So we go 1, 4, 5. When I said seventh, I mean, the nice thing about that is on the key of C, and what the seventh does is it actually makes your ear expect the pattern. So if you're playing a seventh and you start hitting that seventh, the next chord is a 4 with the resolution.
Yeah.
Then it goes back. And then on the 5, that's adding the 7, which is on all white keys is a black key, at least on 2 of them.
Yeah.
And the 7th is really what drives the blues.
Yeah.
And it does drive kind of the feel you get the first time you're playing. And so a lot of people, when you hear 1, 4, 5, it's like, cool. Because, I mean, the problem with 7s, they can be tricky because some players will tremolo in octaves for like 2 bars.
Yeah,
they'll jump on it, and so like like when I play bass, I want to go right to I want it to resolve quick because I think the guy's playing the lead where it resolves and he wants to hang on that 7 to kind of build it up in volume. So on this next one, I thought let's put together a minor key thing.
Yeah, still all white keys.
Still all white keys.
Yeah.
Now what we're going to do on this is, again, this is the cool thing is when you're playing on minors and all white keys is automatically just based on I had one guy one time call them Frankenstein chords because he could play like, say, the A minor and then hit all the keys in between, and so it gives it that mushy sound. So the 9th is kind of the one that's hangs out, and that's the note that's one above the octave.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's referred to as the 2nd, but the 9th on a minor chord gives a nice kind of dissonant ring.
Yeah.
And that's a hard thing to do on guitar. And matter of fact, I talked with Patrick, is that we're going to come up with a whole deal on dissonance with guitar. And that's where open tunings and capos start coming in. So that's a bit much for just an all white key thing today.
For me, with like a 9th like that, I always go to like, but if you're moving, that's just like the most basic thing. It's hard to keep it interesting, but in piano, there's so many places that I know that you're hitting those and everything. So I think that's one of the beautiful things about playing together is there's very different voicings that can keep things interesting between these two.
I came off of the acoustic piano for this next minor key jam because I wanted to get a lot of the electric piano and the wavering to take advantage of the mush or the mash sound, however you wanted to call it, the Frankenstein chords, where you just put a lot of different tones in there. So that gives a soloist at that time behind the minor background an opportunity to hear and inspires them to do different things.
Yeah.
But again, all on white keys.
All on white keys.
So let's have a listen. hope you enjoyed that. I forgot to mention, we were kind of following a 1-4-5 pattern,
Yeah.
but in minor. So it was like A minor to D minor to E minor, but I did add in that F chord, that one major chord in there, just so it had like a top end resolution, so that when we started over again, it kind of went back to that you know, mystique of
it's
what
nice
we're doing.
Though, that F still white keys, so you can add so many different flavors and combine major and minor and stuff, keeping it all in those white keys. There's a lot of,
right. The other thing that's interesting is if you're going in a 1-4-5 pattern, that's all minors and minors, and you're putting together a piece like that, instrumental with a soloist. Almost any major all white key that you hit is going to give that big resolution, any major chord after that, because you're hearing close, 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 and then the minute you open it up, it just gives that resolution to the overall sound. So again, we had 1-4-5, a blues pattern. We talked a bit about sevenths to give people an idea to jam on, and then we did the 1-4-5 minor, including ninth and sevenths and all that other stuff. But we did resolve it to a major. Which I forgot to mention.
It's a little something special, you know.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I think something like this, where you're jamming with somebody of a different instrument, you know, you can hear Ted do some soloing lines. If you're paying attention, exercising those kind of listening skills, you can pick up from somebody else little licks, different chord changes that may be somewhat counterintuitive because they're not your typical, you know, minor pentatonic shape or something. So if you're learning either one of these instruments, playing with somebody in a different instrument can be a whole wealth of information. And just simple things like playing, you know, just keeping it white keys, you can learn a lot about different patterns and different ways that these kind of cross over.
That's great. Cooper, I really appreciate you being here today.
Dude, absolutely. So thank you guys for watching. Be on the lookout, because you know we got to do a black key episode. So that is coming out as well. But once again, if you are not subscribed, please subscribe. Check out our other channels as well. We've got guitar channel where you can see me and our coworker Chris. Also our synth channel, Pro Audio, the Alamo Audio Lab. There's just a ton of great information coming out. Very nice to be here with Ted. And
Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for watching.